Hello, everyone. Hello, I hope everyone is doing well. I'm going to wait to get everyone settled in because we have some awesome things to talk about. Lots of cool, fun stuff to talk about. All right. All right. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get started. Hello, everyone. Just in case you are wondering, I have these awesome tunchies from a beautiful independent artist, indigenous artist. Shout out to Third Eye Quest because that is where my live stream audios come and where the dance parties come. Hey. So if you're ready for another dance party, which is probably on some live, pretty much all of my lives, that is going to be Third Eye Quest Beats. So give him a holler, give him a shout out onto YouTube. All right, everyone, welcome back. Hello, beautiful Starseeds. It is the Starseed Mystery School here coming to you live where we learn about the infinite knowledge of the cosmos and the rediscovery of your true self. All right, so please like and subscribe and interact with me over on YouTube. If you are on Facebook, go ahead and get your butt over to YouTube because that is where I am. That is where I would love to see your comments and your beautiful faces on my little comments. So as you guys all know, how I like to start my live streams is to let you guys know that we are going to be doing some fun games. So I need some of your guys' interaction, So what you guys want to do is go ahead and drop those alien emojis if you agree, if you resonate, or when you hear anything from my story of how I grew up. And if that's like how you grew up too, I would love to know how we are connecting and how other starseeds came onto this planet, the experiences. It's all about connecting through our past experience, right? To heal our present for the rediscovery of the future. Okay, so a lot of my teachings, a lot about raising consciousness is getting into the center, grounding in, getting into that heart space, that center. Because when you're at your center point, okay, you can now be balanced. You are no longer going to be living in the past. You can fully be in the present to manifest your future. So if you guys have not done so already, please go ahead and download my free ebook. It is 7 ways to raise your consciousness for beginners in 2021, which is so important right now more than ever, you guys. So you guys, if you need any help, daily tips, tricks, super yet simple and effective ways to raise consciousness every single day, okay? So go ahead and download that. That is in the description link below. All right, you guys, remember too, okay? So now that we do the aliens, drop the aliens. If you resonate with anything that comes up, also too, where are we connecting the grid from? Okay, where are we all traveling? We know sometimes we're not always in the same location. I love to hear how we are connecting, where the divine algorithm is lighting up the world through this life force energy, through these physical vessels. So welcome, my beautiful Pam. Hello, Galactica. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. So this is going to be quite a controversial YouTube. And again, this is all just my experience. This is all just of what I have grown up with. And this is all of what has made me who I am today. And so I was even in a meditation before this and thinking, how should I talk about this, the intentions and things like that? I don't want to create separation, okay? I want to create more unification as a whole. And so the more information that we're able to hear, that we're able to become aware of, the more that we can use our discernment to make our decisions, right? Do we want to go left or do we want to go right? It's about hearing the left and the right. Do we want to go dark or do we want to go light? It's about hearing the dark and the light, right? You want to hear both sides. So before we get started, let us all remember that Starseed does the disclaimer before all YouTube because some of my topics can be controversial and sometimes they can be very much triggery. They can trigger a lot of people. So this is all about becoming aware of what is it that's triggering you, you know? So again, this is all my truth. This is all just to help better understand me and how to better help you in the future. Because if you're here, there's probably a reason, you know, that divine algorithm. So this is a disclaimer to all viewers and subscribers to my channel. The more people waking up, the more 5D consciousness is integrated into the collective consciousness and the collective consciousness timelines. The more we come together through unity and community, the more we can fulfill this new earth prophecy. It is a collective effort. This is the reason why I am an emissary for decentralization, self-sustaining communities, and the redistribution and transfer of wealth and power back to its people. Remember to use your discernment in all you absorb through your perceptions during this live stream. Let this live be an exercise of your discernment, all right? Heart open, discernment levels on, and let us go. All right, so Christianity versus spirituality, you guys. Before I start, let's get some water. And again, any questions? Go ahead, leave some questions. Comments, go ahead and leave a comment if you feel like you need to, if it resonates, okay? So I would love to ask and answer any questions that you guys might have that I can answer for myself through my experience and just through my own truth, all right? All right. Hello, Cosmic Blaze. Yes, speaking my truth, that's right. And you know what? To be totally honest with you guys, for things like this, you know, these lives are major breakthroughs, not just for myself, but for collective consciousness and humanity. Because when one puts themselves out there like this, the way I'm doing, I mean, it's scary, you know, it's scary to talk about these things. But you think about, I had to ask myself, I had to reevaluate, why are you doing this? You know, it's again to help people. Okay, when I needed the help and I was not able to receive this type of information, I was looking and searching and all of these things, I was not able to have it. So now that I have this information, you know, that has helped me, that has transformed my being, I mean, like, it is part of my mission to go ahead and share this wealth of information and knowledge, because how this new earth comes, you guys, is literally through us. We must rise through the self for the collective, and then we do it through the community, okay? It starts from the micro to get to the macro, right? Yes, absolutely. All right, so let's get started. I've got some notes here because I wanted to talk a little bit about like these Christian narratives, all right? So I actually wrote down some narratives that has been brought to my attention that I actually resonate with and that I've actually been experienced as a child, okay? So I'm going to go over some Christian narratives that I have been told or I have been taught, all right? I'm also going to be going over Doreen Virtue. Have y'all heard of Doreen Virtue? If y'all have, please let your girl know, because this woman is straight wild. I cannot wait to talk about this. This is so funny. And I'm going to be talking about psychics, mediums, and again, just the terms is what I do not resonate with. This is not something that I identify myself with, right? And that's the other thing too, you guys. We are going to be talking about labels, all right? Labels, labeling, healer, shaman, starseed, lightwork, and all of these things. It's like, wait a minute. If I want to talk about not creating separation, why are you going to label yourself something, right? No. Back up here. The reason why we have these labels is for identification. So we can identify with our community, so we can identify with our family, so we can identify with like resonant DNA, same DNA, galactic DNA from the same home planet even, you know, if you guys are keeping up, if you guys understand me. So this is about not separation, but unification. And also understanding that labels, okay, like Christianity, spirituality, indigo, rainbow, whatever you want to call yourself, this is just identification to rebring unification, not the separation, okay? This is not to separate. So the whole intention of this live is to help you guys better understand that this is all about how we are connected. We are connected as one. You know, it is not about what we were brought up, and this is the right way, this is the wrong way. That's another thing I'm going to be talking about. Good and bad consciousness, living in that dualistic timeline, creating good and bad, good and evil. Okay, evil is a big word that Christians and every religion really uses. Okay, it's about, for me, I don't really use that word so much anymore. But anyways, all right, so let's get started. Remember, any questions at all, please let your girl know. And also, too, let me know, how did you grow up? Like, y'all will find out I grew up Catholic, straight Catholic, like ethnic Catholic, which means hella Catholic. So let me know where you guys, like, how you guys grew up, your religious backgrounds, and how you got into spirituality. Or like, because I know if you're on here, you know you're going through a spiritual awakening, you know you're following me because you want to learn about spiritual stuff, you know. So I want to know how you guys got there. I want to know how you came up into realize that I am a multidimensional galactic being, an infinite being, you know. So let your girl know. I need to get a little bit of water in me. So another reason why, you know, the intention that I wanted to make of this video was a couple of reasons. And one was the fact that I had a really intimate conversation with my good friend Brooke, which we have all the time. We have these deep conversations all the time, but something that has been coming up in our fields, both, you know, we haven't been seeing each other for a while. So she's over there on that side of the lake. I'm over here on this side of the lake. And I'm experiencing similar to what she's experiencing, you know? And this false light matrix, you know, even the dark and density, which is also part of the false light matrix, which we'll get into a bit. Any questions at all, let me know. I'll dive into it more if you feel like I'm going too fast, or if you feel like it's a little too high rise for you, right? So this false light matrix, right? It's lurking around, all right? And it's lurking around the individuals who are brand new, who are just learning and opening up to their spirituality, who are just awakening to their spirituality, you know? And so this is what really bothers me, is that, you know, I talk a lot about Starseed Mystery School, about Earth being a spiritual school. Literally, this planet is about the soul ascension, the soul awakening, and our experiences on this planet is literally a spiritual school. So, you know, with that being said, I feel that I have been a student for a few years now, but a very diligent student within my own ascension. So with that being said, you know, I feel like, just like with what I do with my services, my spiritual healing, my intuitive coaching, my transformational retreats, I mean, I am a teacher and a leader really of ascension and a humanity's ascension. And so I wouldn't have been able to do that unless I had to learn about my ascension first. So I had to become a student. I'm always a student, you know, but when you are a student and you go through it more, you start to realize you're also the teacher, right? So as a teacher and as a student, as going through this, I feel like I have this spiritual maturity, right? For me to grasp, and for my guides and my spirit team, you know, to initiate me to be where I'm at today, you know, with the success that I'm having today, with the success that's coming into my future, right? And so with that being said, you know, there's so many people right now who are just awakening, where that seed of consciousness is just beginning to plant, you know, that very like kindergarten student of the ascension. And if this sounds like you, like if you think you're just like the kindergarten of your ascension, then honestly and truthfully, the false light matrix is really lurking around for the ones who are just open and who are just curious. And so for someone who has been in this for years now, I do feel like it's my responsibility. And also with great power comes great responsibility. So that's another reason why I'm doing this live. So in order for me to better help out humanity and help out people who are trying to get out of confusion, get out of fear, get out of all of that, it really comes from the rediscovery of yourself. And for me, how I found the rediscovery of myself was through my spiritual awakening, was through my spirituality, you know, understanding my ascension, talking about my ascension. So that is huge. I wanted you guys to know that the false light matrix and the dark, you know, whatever you want to call it, evil around us, the elite, the cabal, whatever it is, even the spiritual system, the mystical side of it, the non-physical of it, the density, right? it is always trying to take over light. That will always be the spiritual warfare. And so now more than ever, the spiritual warfare is higher and higher than ever on planet Earth. And it is because Earth is ascending, humanity is ascending, and a lot of the people of humanity are ascending. So what that brings us to is spiritual warfare. And so for me too, here's another reason why I'm making this live. I was actually, I don't like to use the word attacked, but I was actually going through an experience last week where two people of Christian religion actually showed and portrayed separatism between I and them because of my spirituality or because of what I do. And so I just thought that was interesting because, like, I've been going through my awakening for years and I haven't had this experience. But again, every experience is a lesson to be learned. So I'm learning it, and I just wanted to document that and share with you guys because this is huge. Like, what I'm sharing with you guys is huge because, I mean, it's my experience, but for me to share it, I know I'm going to connect with so many others and to help others, speak up about their experience, speak up of what they have been going through. And so, yeah, I'll talk about Doreen and I'll talk about the labels and things like that. But let's go ahead, and I want to get into a bit of my story. So now that we've actually talked about the false light and some of that stuff and how it's really preying on people who are just beginning to awaken. So that's why it's important, I should make another video about energetic protection and ways to consciously and physically, energetically protect yourself. But again, it is not about fear. It is just about being consciously aware of energy around you and how you can actually physically prepare yourself and protect yourself and things like that. So with my story and my awakening, not necessarily my awakening, but let's go into my childhood. So I actually grew up, if you guys don't know, my father is from Guam and my mother is from the Philippines. She's Filipino and my father's Chamorro Guamanian, okay? So Islander lifestyle, they were both Catholic. They were both, my families, my grandparents, they were both like heavily influenced in the Catholicism because it was part of our cultural tradition. Being a Filipino or being a Chamorro, Catholicism was heavily influenced on culture and society of how I grew up. And so, when anyone passed away, we would do the novenas, we would do the 7-day blessings, and then we would speak in our language, and then we do it in Spanish, and then we do the rosaries in English, all of these different languages and hours of chanting and ceremony and ritual. And I grew up around the Santo Niño, and Santo Niño was actually, surprisingly, on both sides of my family, Santo Niño is baby Jesus. That was the saint that represented actually both of my families, coincidentally. So actually, through my spiritual awakening, my first spirit guide was Jesus and then Mother Mary. So my spirit team, even this right here, this is a Catholic saint, Saint Kateri Tekakwitha. She's a Native American saint. She's actually my son's Native American saint through our Catholic religion. And so as you heard, I say our Catholic religion because I still heavily respect Catholicism. For years, actually, just a few years ago, actually just a year ago, I still would go to church out of respect for my community, the people in the Catholic community that I still loved and still who understood that I was going through my awakening, understood I was doing Reiki and doing energy healing. So for the most part, I was never actually shunned or anything negative really to my face. But wait till you hear these Christian narratives, all right? So nothing in my face was ever like bad except for when I went through my awakening, then people would actually say, a little bit of harmful things here and there. I'm sure you guys have heard some narratives, which we'll talk about spirituality narratives on the next live because that's going to be super funny. But anyways, so before I get into that, the Christian narratives, I just want to talk a little bit about how I grew up and how, like, even in my household, Harry Potter, I was not allowed to watch Harry Potter because it was against our religion. So that was a huge saying in my Filipino household, was it was against our religion, to watch movies of witchcraft, which that was called witchcraft. Harry Potter was witchcraft in my family growing up. So that is really how I grew up. Was pretty conservative, Catholic. And so as I went through my spiritual awakening, I had to realize that I, Jasmine, not my past generations, I have to find the balance of the truth and the light of what I learned, because Jesus was a spirit guide of mine. Mother Mary was a spirit guide of mine. That doesn't mean I have to completely shun Christianity as a whole. Absolutely not. I mean, you can see my Catholic saint right here. I still respect my community that I grew up in Southern California. On this reservation, we would go to church every Sunday, literally every Sunday. And what's it called? I just really feel like, as me, and maybe for you too, growing up as a Catholic or Christian, it's about finding the balance of your truth, because there's truth and then there's wishy-washy truth and then there's plain lies. And that's in everything that we hear, whether it's religion or money or politics or government or medical or nutrition or anything like that. So it's important to find your balance in your past experience and in your now, because you are going to be creating your religion. It's not about subscribing to this or subscribing to that, or even subscribing to spirituality. It's just you, being on the rediscovery of you, I think is what is beautiful. And I think what we should transition to, instead of what is your religion, how that's even a question on resumes and things like that. It's insane. So, okay, now you guys heard a little bit about my story. I want to talk about these Christian narratives. This is interesting because a soul sister of mine, Water Priestess on Instagram, she actually was talking about this, and it's like, whoa, yes, like I'm so glad that she talked about it, because then it inspired me to talk about it, and I know it's going to inspire others, and that is just the flow, and that is just how energy goes. What? Quantum. That's right. Quantum. That's right. Okay, so I'm going to get into these Christian narratives, but let's see these comments over here. Hello, Hannah. Hello, Commander. Thank you for coming. Hello, Kevin. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Thank you guys all for engaging. I love this so much. Okay, so the Christian narratives that I grew up with, super interesting, all right? So I'm going to go like this because I have them written down. So Christian narratives I grew up with was, someone studying the occult is part of Luciferian timelines, okay? What I want you to do right now, if it's not going to cut off my live stream, Google right now occult, okay? So Google just the definition of occult. Literally the definition, and remember, okay, for me, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. When I heard the word cult, I'm like, oh hell no, no, I'm not part of that, because I was programmed to believe that cults were anything that had to do with the devil. Okay, so I always grew up and associated with good and evil, and to do good versus evil, right? So that's how I grew up, and so I even had this fear program that occults were evil. But I highly recommend you go to Google, do a definition search, type in occult, OCCULT, and the definition is supernatural, mystical, or magical beliefs, practices, or phenomena. And so I thought to myself, oh, okay, so like Freemasons is a cult. That's like based off of like the American government. Like there's so many Freemasons, that's a cult. But also Christian, they call themselves Christian too, but that's a cult. So that was just a little bit of hypocrisy that I came across through my awakening and through my experiences. Witches, anyone understanding mystical division or phenomenon is considered a cult. But again, I guess for me, still to this day, I am still healing that fear vibration of what a cult means, because I still don't resonate with cult. But if you look up the definition of cult, it means supernatural, mystical, magical practices or phenomena. And so a Christian narrative for me was someone studying the occult is part of Luciferian timelines. Another one was anyone practicing yoga or meditation is giving their energy to Lucifer. Okay, I heard that a few times, and that just makes me think like, huh? But that's just how some people think. I'm just letting you know, these are just what I have heard. So if you're I'm home too. So anyone practicing yoga or meditation is giving their energy to Lucifer. Okay, I've heard that. Okay, anyone channeling beings outside of themselves are channeling demons. Like really, like anything outside of physical vessel automatically is connected to demonic or evil or density or anything like that. And again, that doesn't mean it's for everyone. This is just what I went through in my experience, because what I went through my experience has shaped me to who I am today. Therefore, help me better understand who I am and what am I going to be doing. That's why I have such a realization and understanding of who I am and how I can share my gifts and really go ahead and do my purpose, really, by sharing and speaking my truth, because this is what I experience, you know? So another one was anyone practicing tarot or other spiritual practices are giving their energy to Lucifer or the fallen timeline. Okay. And this was what was great. Like that, this was just the tip of the iceberg, that I had a conversation with this person. And I thought this person was really like a genuine person, you know, so we're having this conversation. And then this person tells me, okay, of Christian faith, who calls himself a Christian man. Someone literally just told me, okay, so someone literally just told me last week, I knew a girl that did tarot and was demonically possessed. And so that blew my mind to hear that someone, okay, like human, who is of God, who is a man of God, who talks so freely about being a man of God, would automatically put that tarot card reading is connected to her demonic possession. I mean, just for me, my own psychological systems, like I wouldn't be able to process that. Other people might. So that's why I'm just like, what? So I had to make this live because I grew up from that spectrum. And now I'm just going over to my spectrum, not necessarily a spectrum, just my own, walking to the beat of my own drum. And while I'm doing that, I'm just coming across like these certain characters, which is actually quite interesting. So what I came across, you know, what I realized is anyone subscribing, okay, to good or bad is creating the dualistic timelines in consciousness. You are creating good and bad, or dark and evil and light and good, okay? There is, however, light and dark, but evil is a program based on fear, okay? In the 5D consciousness, there is no fear vibration. Okay, it is all about getting rid of that program. So what is still heavily influenced, in my perspective, in Christianity is that belief of the dualistic timelines, the dualistic consciousness within humanity. So again, this is all about, for me, my intentions is to help bring the reunification, help people better understand the connection to all right? So let me take a sip of water. Hi, Tina. Good to see you. Awesome. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and keep going. I am glad you guys are connecting, commenting, all about like sharing what you think. This is all about helping you better understand who you are and what you want to do and what there is for you to discover and to rediscover, right? All right. So I went a little bit over some of the Christian narratives, right? Talked a little bit about how I grew up Catholic. I grew up understanding that there was a heaven and a hell, you know, good or bad. You have consequences for your actions after life, right? But then when I started to awaken, I started to think like, wait, why am I experiencing like these past lives? Like, what are past lives? What is karma? What is Dharma? I started to become really, really just like open to basically the rediscovery of like the universe and how to communicate with the universe and quantum physics, quantum mechanics, truly. And then it came into like higher intelligence, how to communicate with higher intelligence. And then it made me realize that this is all connection to spirituality, that spirituality is the connection to all on any sector of division, whether it's religion, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, psychological, on all systems, within, from without. It all begins at the spiritual level. So for me and my own psychological systems, like that is just something that I had that didn't resonate with me anymore because it was too linear. Like what I'm learning about myself, what I'm learning about my ascension, what I'm learning about the universe, about time and space and time code frequencies and all of these things, like that is my forte. That's like my thing. And so because of the fact that I am in that division of figuring out and rediscovering myself as a soul, which, some humans may not even want to do at this point, but eventually that is going to be the reason why you come onto this earth, is the rediscovery of the self, the soul identification of you, because rediscovering the soul identification of you will help you, not just help you, will make you understand your life missions, your life purposes, your earth missions, and things like that. Because, I think humanity as a whole has come up. I hope I'm thinking of humanity highly, that at least the majority of us are waking up to the fact that I am supposed to be here for a reason. Like I was born on April 1st this year and this time because of this reason. It is about rediscovering it. It is about when you wake up, rediscovering more about your life purpose, your past, your present, your future. Okay. Sometimes this might not resonate for some people, but if this does, then you're totally soul family. You totally understand. Like you are also on a similar path as I do consider myself one of an advanced soul on this planet with 7 billion people on this planet. There's not many like me who are striving and who are so hungry for the rediscovery of the self, because truly when you find the rediscovery of the self, then it comes into those earth missions, right? So this is just my experience, all right? Everyone differs. To me, Christianity did not go beyond religion, whereas my spirituality, it is all that I am. It is my intention. It is my why. It is my reason for my life and my existence, and my purpose. And I understand who I am, where I am going, and my continued path onto this rediscovery. So that truly is, my ascension here. And so now I wanted to go ahead and talk a little bit about this chick, Doreen Virtue. So now that we've gone to like all that high rising stuff, let's bring it back down a notch and back to this Christianity stuff. So Doreen Virtue, have y'all heard of her? Can you please comment if y'all have heard of her? Anybody heard of Doreen Virtue? Because I remember a few years ago, I'll start talking about it. So it's so funny because a few years ago when I was going through my spiritual awakening, I saw this lady on everything. Doreen Virtue this, Doreen Virtue that, Doreen Virtue angel cards, Doreen Virtue on Hay House. Like everything Doreen Virtue, like anything about spirituality was all Doreen Virtue. And so I started to think like, that's interesting. Even Deepak Chopra raises my awareness like, I don't resonate with that. Because here's the thing is when someone can get so popular, then they become, what's it called? When someone becomes so successful in a business on this planet and you make a lot of money, then the elites start to see who you are. And then they start to see, oh, okay, you are able to manipulate and control a big amount of crowd. So what a lot of these influencers, Deepak Chopra, I believe is one of them, Doreen Virtue is one of them, they actually were actually manipulated into contracts, into deals with this dark and the false light. Okay, so this person right here, Doreen Virtue, it's so funny because when people go into their spirituality and then I see them go to Christianity again, it's funny. It's like I say that they Doreen virtued. Like she hella Doreen virtued back to Christianity. But again, it's just everyone is different, right? And so what she did, Doreen, is that she was just like a bestseller, angel cards creator, publisher, and blah, blah, blah. And she ended up going back and bashing the spiritual community, bashing ascended masters, bashing energy healing, chakras, and all of those different things, and went back to Christianity and started talking hella shit about psychics and mediums, which she was making so much money for, like creating products was for psychics and mediums. So for me, I don't know her story, but from the outside, it looked like she was manipulated by the false light matrix. Therefore, the darkness took over her lights. And that's the thing, is intelligence is light and dark. And that's something that we have to understand, is the more that we become high-rise, the more we understand intelligence, the light and dark, we can understand, like how Christians talk about demonically possessed. Well, do Christians teach you how to get rid of it, or do they just push you over to an exorcism? I mean, help me out if I'm wrong here, but this is just what I learned. And so with my spirituality, I learned how to physically extract negative entities outside of me, which I feel honestly everyone should learn, because negative and dark energies can totally manipulate any human physical vessel. But it's about protecting your lights. And this person right here, Doreen Virtue, did not protect her lights as she began to high rise. So what had happened was the dark took over her lights, and therefore she was manipulated. And now she's got a bunch of people kind of really manipulated of her programs, of her beliefs, of that spirituality is Luciferian timelines and da-da-da-da-da. And so again, that's just my thoughts, and you obviously know how I feel about it. But whenever it's always once in a blue moon, I see someone random go back to Christianity, and so it's like, oh, did you see her? She hella Doreen virtue. That shit's funny. And then I never hear back. I never hear anything after that. So I mean, that's just my story, yeah. So if you guys have heard of Doreen Virtue, let me know. Actually, yeah, you should Google her. There's actually like a YouTube that I saw that someone posted. It was saying Doreen Virtue, the truth about psychics and mediums. And I was like, oh, hell no, with this stupid shit. But yeah, watch it. Use your discernment. See, that's me, because I use my discernment. My discernment level is high. My connection to my higher self is high. My transformation light is on. Therefore, I can discern when something is of alignment with me, of my path or not. And so I'm just like, nah, I can right away see the dark or the light within someone. And here's the thing is, that doesn't mean that they're fully dark or fully light. It just means that I can predominantly see what programs this person is running on, because we're all on a software hardware system. We have our limited beliefs, we have our psychological programs and our mind systems, right? That we all are, you're watching me, you are processing, you are integrating this information. So for me, because I can understand myself, I can understand my systems, I can better understand when something is trying to manipulate me or my purpose or anything that is trying to penetrate my E-fields. So this is huge. It's coming up again for me. Helping humanity better protect their lights. I'm going to make another video. About that. Video I saw was with some dude who was saying all the little statues, we have our portals for demons to come in. I had to turn it off. So bad for children. Yeah, Michael, like it's so crazy. Like they automatically, like for me, just when I say they, some people of Christianity, the Christian narrative is anything of this is automatically connected to demon. It's automatically connected to dark. Therefore, only this is light. Only this doctrine, only this laws or commandments or whatever is right. And for me, absolutely not. So that's a little bit about Doreen. All right. So lastly, this is going to be a little bit of a short live, surprisingly, but I wanted to get a little bit into these labels right here. And again, it is all about what you identify with, it is what you resonate with, okay? That doesn't mean that there's separation. It's just identification, okay? So for me, I personally do not resonate with psychic or medium. Excuse me, I'm burping. But really the basics is that these individual psychics and mediums are also tapped in and tuned in to spiritual systems. Doesn't mean always light. And that's why I don't resonate, is because, well, mediums, first of all, mediums, they connect with the other side. So the other side literally means anything that is non-physical. Okay, that is what they connect with. So a lot of mediums connect with past loved ones, people who've crossed, people who are in the in-between. I don't do that. No. I don't do none of that. I don't talk to no. That's why I don't resonate. Okay, psychics. We were programmed to believe, like, just in society, psychics are someone who can see the future. No, psychic, okay, psychic abilities. We are all psychic here. So that word, I don't resonate with this because of what society has programmed us from, like learning about witches and psychics are like the same thing, and then crystal balls. Like, it's not really about that. But because so much of humanity identifies psychics as that, that's why I don't resonate with it. So for me, what I resonate with is all of these right here. And this is kind of like that new wave of spiritual humans, the Starseed light workers, way showers, this third wave that Dolores Cannon talked about. These are like the new labels and the new identifications of our communities that we've established, okay? So I'll talk a little bit about healer. Okay, for me, these are just my own, through my experiences of what I was learned through, these past years, and talking to people, through being in the spiritual community and things like that. So a healer, okay, I believe is anyone and everyone. But to identify as a healer is someone who's going through their spiritual awakening, probably their spiritual ascension, and they have been initiated by their higher self or their spirit team, or even in a dream, coming in as saying, you are a healer. Well, what does that mean? I'm a healer. It means, dear one, that you as a human have the ability to transform yourself. And whatever you've done to transform yourself, you have the ability to help transform others. And as a healer, okay, it is about facilitating, okay, holding space, navigating, guiding people to their healing. For me, not necessarily full-blown healing people, and there are healers on this planet who are of God frequency, okay? People of God frequency is very, very, very slim to none, and I know a few. Okay, but these God frequency are able to physically heal someone, okay, like Jesus, how Jesus had fish and he created more, okay, or how he healed the sick, he healed the blind. There are legit physical healers, I repeat, who are physically healing people and their illnesses based off of their touch because of their God frequency that they hold. And every individual has the opportunity to high rise and to ascend to that part of them, the soul identification of you, to become that master healer, okay? Shaman. What is a shaman? A shaman for me is something that I always heard in Native American culture or indigenous culture, and it's basically an elder of an indigenous community or tribe that is the spiritual oracle, okay? Someone who is tapped into the spiritual side, and that can be a communication for the spirit to the physical. So it's being like a channel for your community, being a channel from higher intelligence, from spirit, okay, coming to you as a physical vessel for you to be the communicator for humanity. And that's what I am. I'm a shaman. I'm a healer. I'm a starseed light worker, way shower, indigo, rainbow, all of the above, right? It's the multi-dimension. My Norwegian accent's coming out. The multi-dimensionality of you. The multi-dimensionality of you is how I identify with healer, shaman, starseed, lightworker, etc, etc. Okay. Now, what I really resonate with, putting my hair back, okay, because this is my thing, is starseed. Okay, starseed is what I resonate with the most, because for me, and in my experience and how I can best explain what a starseed is someone who is awakened to the fact of their galactic origin and their galactic DNA, meaning their galactic planets, their galactic family. So I have a very strong connection. My spirituality, my communication to higher intelligence has always been more predominantly galactic, more than mystical or ascended master. I have a ton of ascended master spirit team and guides that are with me always, but Starseed resonates with me the most because I am so connected to my galactic origin and my galactic connection, my galactic intelligence, the mystical side of my division, of my soul identification, if that makes sense to some of you. So I'm not just tapped into my human vessel, okay? I'm tapped into my soul, the multidimensionality of my soul, and where I have come from. Okay, star seeds also can identify with, they are not from this planet. They have more galactic DNA than human, which I believe a lot of us who came down here to do this work to shift humanity has a lot of. It's awakening to that fact. For me, when I went to Mount Shasta, I was awakened to the Arcturian High Council, who talked to me for 6 months every single day before I met them in Mount Shasta. They were talking to me for 6 months before I found out what Arcturian High Council was. I thought the Arcturian was just like, I don't even know. I was just listening to their channeled messages, but it always resonated. And then they finally came to me, okay? And then I was able to be brought up to the ships. Physical healing, okay, was occurring. I, in my dreams, were taken to these ships. Even in my meditation, I was physically in communication, not where I can physically see with my eyes in the dimensional earth in communication with, but in my dreams and also in my meditations. I was in full communication with higher intelligence of these higher councils, the Arcturian Council, Pleiadians, Lyrans, okay, Syrians. There's a lot of different galactic planets and higher intelligence that is here to help us. And so for me, I'm very much so tapped into the higher intelligence of other off-planet locations. So that is why I personally resonate with a lot of starseed, why I call myself starseed. And so a lot of people too, they will come to me and they say, oh, the Arcturians have come to me too, or I resonate with the violet flame, or things like that, And it's because we all have galactic origin. And the more that we awaken, the more that we'll come into communication with more of soul family, there's going to be a moment in time where you meet that one soul family. You're like, oh my God, we have done this for lifetimes. And I'm telling you guys, it's the most amazing feeling in the world to experience quantum reality like that in the physical, meeting someone of flesh, like a soul family or a soul sister. And that's why I do these retreats, you guys. How I meet soul family is from people coming to my retreats. Like, I know as a starseed, as a healer, I am a facilitator for transformation. But it's like it happens over a weekend of time. And I'm telling you, like every retreat that I've ever hosted for the past 2 years now, it's been 4 or 5, going to be on my 6th, I think. I can't count right now. But every time it has brought me closer to the individuals that I have been doing mission work for lifetimes. When I say sis, or when I call you soul family, that is legit, because I feel it. I resonate with it because you are part of me. I am part of you. Okay, little side note there. But that is why I've been so called to do retreats and to bring back the star seeds and light workers back into communication, back into community, back into doing what we were always meant to do, So now let's talk about light worker. A light worker is someone, it is any human. You don't even have to be a spiritual awakened or even going through ascension to be a light worker. You are just someone who embodies the light, someone that holds the light from within, the light within the heart, okay? You open your heart and you turn on the light, and that is embodying as becoming a light worker in the physical embodiment. So everyone can be a light worker on this planet. And it is about, you guys, if we were to do the first baby steps, it is about telling every human, be a light worker, just emanate the light from within. Okay, that's all we need. No matter what religion you are, everyone could be a light worker. Okay, now a way shower is someone who, just like me, is living a way of life, living to the beat of their own drum and letting people know, hey, you know what? Go live to the beat of your own drum, because guess what? I'm over here doing my thing, dancing to my own rhythm of the beat of my own drum, and I'm having a grand old fucking time. Excuse my language. I hope I don't get cut on YouTube for that. But because, you guys, I'm so passionate right now about this, like the higher self is coming through so massively and strongly and in full communication, that it is all about walking to the beat of your own drum. And because of the fact that I have been doing it, it is my mission and my responsibility to help others better understand that you can do it too. The government and everything that has been controlling us is trying to manipulate us so much more and more to keep us more closed in, keep us more closed in, and to more manipulate it and to be more in fear, that now is the time to fully get into way shower, fully get into light worker. Yeah? So let me drink some water and I'll get into the rest. Shout out to Michael Rolla. Love you lots. My Starseed crypto partner. If you're not following Michael Rolla already, please follow him on his YouTube. He is my crypto business partner and soul fam. And we've got lots and lots of mission work and so much to redistribute wealth of information to you guys. Massive, massive, massive. So if you're not following Michael Rolla already, he is a crypto expert and also a spiritual channel. So please follow Michael Rolla. This is Soul Fam. This is all about reconnecting, interconnecting the grids, okay? If I mention someone, this is someone who is of major impact in my life and what I'm doing in my mission. And so, yes, please, it's all about reconnection, okay? All right, so way shower. We talked about way shower, okay? Now, indigo. So we've heard of indigo, and indigo is the color of a beautiful blue. And so indigo is also the color of the third eye, or sometimes crown, okay? Is not just associated with one, the crown or the third eye. For me, I associate it more with the third eye. So the third eye, you guys, is this right here. It's a non-physical eye. That is right here, a mystical eye. If you guys see in the Egyptian, like ancient Egyptian symbolism, you'll see the beautiful eye. That is also like a symbol of the third eye. And the third eye is your communication with the non-physical, the spirit realm, okay? The third eye is also your connection to your higher self. The third eye is your TV receptor into what you see when you envision, when you travel through space, when you travel through time. The third eye is what opens up when you close your eyes and your third eye is open. Your TV receptor comes on and it will show you the channel that you are picking up. But remember, it's about grounding in your physical body, being in alignment with your heart and in your center in order for you to become receptive to these channels. So this third eye is this TV receptor, but remember, this is the motherboard, this is the monitor. You have to be in balance and in communication with your higher self in order to fully see this intelligence, okay? So the third eye is the indigo color. And indigo are individuals who are, to me, I like to say more so, actually, you know what? It's not even an age. It could be old or young. But it's not too much old or not too young. It's literally the in-between, like the cognitive adulthood, I would say, would be, a lot of that community would be considered indigo. And it's because their soul is indigo. It is part of the indigo ray. Therefore, they are in very much so, their third eye is activated and is in communication with their higher self and their spirit team and all of this etheric realm and higher intelligence. So that is what indigo people or indigo warriors are, and they identify with. Okay, a rainbow ray or a rainbow warrior is basically the same thing as indigo. You can be an indigo or a rainbow ray. And so I know indigo and rainbow ray were huge in the 90s and the thousands, early thousands. A lot of the spiritual community really started to lean out of psychic medium and get more into that multidimensionality, the back to the creation, the nature, the organic of life, right? And that was really of how the indigo and the rainbow warrior came about. For me, how I came to learn about this. And lastly, the crystal children and the diamond ray. Okay, those two, they came around the same time. Okay, crystal children are also diamond ray. Diamond rays are also crystal children. So these crystal children, which is so interesting because for me, the first book I ever got about spiritual awakening was to better understand crystal children, because I had a newborn and literally I knew my son was so galactic. Like at 2 years old, he heard a Pleiadian channel literally just say greetings on YouTube. And he said at 2 years old, he just heard greetings. He said, "Mommy, she's from my home planet." And I'm like, "What the hell, kid? You're 2. How do you know what a home planet is?" So I literally like mouth dropped and I was like, "Oh, you did not just say that." So literally, so my son is a diamond ray, and these diamond rays will literally like knock your socks off. Literally. My son now is 5 and he says things like that a grown adult or like a mother or father would say to their child. And so these diamond rays have these qualities and characteristics. Like my son, he tells me every day, "I am the protector of Jasmine Leilani Faharin." Like, he's literally 5. Like, I don't know how he does it, but he says it at the right moments in time. And it is because these diamond rays, these crystal children, they came onto this planet with galactic DNA, their crystalline DNA already intact. Okay, there's never been any humans on this planet with such open crystalline DNA that these physical humans now embody. So if your child is born between 2010 and now, they're definitely crystal children and diamond ray children. I believe 2000s and above are also crystal children, but the diamond rays, I think they really began at 2012. Like that 2012 shift of when these new seeds were being brought to this planet, the diamond rays, because these diamond rays, when they get of age, you guys have no idea the type of work that they're going to be doing for humanity, like this new earth that I keep talking about, right? So that is, for me, all that I can explain of what these labels are. And again, it is not about separation. It is just about identification and the realization of the connection to all. Okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed my channel. I mean, I could barely breathe. I could barely get water. This is what happens on my YouTube lives, you guys. Spirit just is like, she gotta go, she gotta go, she got a lot, she got a lot, she got a lot, just go, 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 go. And so, taking my first breath in 58 minutes and 10 seconds. So, you guys, I love and appreciate you and honor you guys so much for being here. And honestly, like, it is an honor, okay, to share this wealth of information with you guys. And lastly, before I go, I want to talk about this maiden, mother, and crone energy. And this really pertains to Christianity versus spirituality for me, okay? I am a very young 26-year-old woman who could still be known as a maiden, but yet I'm a mother, but yet I give you crone energy and I give you crone wisdom. So what does that mean, right? I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you guys. This is a beautiful picture to help you better understand like the maiden, the mother, and the crone. So this is the divine feminine energy that is here on planet Earth. Okay, you, no matter if you're a man or a woman, your divine feminine essence holds the past, present, future, the young, the now, and the old, elder, okay? So for me, I am a mother but yet my heart is like a child. But yet I can give you crone wisdom and crone energy of higher intelligence that you guys know what? It is not me. This is not me. This is my higher self. This is the crone energy. All of the lives as a healer and as helping individuals and all the lives of trauma and suffering for speaking my truth. I am now able to go ahead and share my crone energy with you guys. So I'm so glad and I'm so honored that I can be here and share with you guys all of the wealth of information that's helped me on my path, me in my past, my present, and my future. And I love you guys so much. And I really hope to see you at my retreat, okay? That's going to happen in the summertime. And if any of y'all know, retreats with me, if you've been on a retreat with me, y'all know that this is life-changing. Probably on one of the next few lives, I'm going to get one of my sisters who was at my most recent Winter Wealth Shift retreat. And I want to get her on here, you guys, because guess what? She did a major life shift right after my retreat. So I want to talk to you guys about that, show you guys literally what it's like to take quantum leaps of faith literally right after this retreat. And going on this retreat with me, you guys, is about transformation. It's about growth. It's about expansion, community, getting back with soul family, and all of the above, okay? Literally a weekend of a lifetime, that spirit was just like, Jazz, I know you didn't want to do a retreat this year because I know you got a lot going on, but we got to do this. Like, the soul fam needs to get back together. And so it's going to happen in June, in the summer, and I know a lot of y'all are feeling it, feeling the call. So if you are, go ahead and DM me, give me your email. I'm going to put you on my list and get you guys into my private group so we can intimately talk about what's going to be happening on this retreat and get you guys in, okay? So we have pre-sale tickets available now. And I highly recommend, if you feel like coming to this retreat, you get in at the pre-sale price, because once it's no longer pre-sale, whenever I decide to take it off, it's going to be double, okay? So if you're interested, I want you to go look at the little bit of information I have about it right now. And if you are interested, holler at your girl. I will give you all the information to keep you in our private, intimate Facebook group, okay? Because this is going to be major transformation that we're going to be doing on this summer retreat out in Montana. And if you're feeling Montana, man, this is home. Where I'm having this retreat is home. So I love you guys so, so much. Thank you so much for staying with me. And much love, lots of love. Bye, everyone.